Hey, it's Breezy back with Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Today we're playing Blackwings, which is a deck that I recently learned. I don't know all the combos and stuff out of it, but I hope you guys let me know when I misplay and stuff down in the comments. And here is my deck. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. And our first card is 2 Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. Hand trap, you put it to your grave and it will negate an opponent's monster ability from your hand. Very useful. I'm running 2 of them because it's limited to 2 in this game. Next is Blackwing Oster the South Wind, which I'm not that quite familiar with this card. He's a bit confusing for me to use, but I'm running 3 of them. When this card is normal summoned, you target a banished level 4 or lower Blackwing and special summon it in defense position, and then banish this, or you can banish this card from the grave and activate a different effect of place feather counters on a Blackwing Dragon you control equal to the number of cards your opponent controls, or place a wedge counter on each face-up monster you control that does not have one. Questionable. It does work well with my trap down there for Blackbird Close, and we are running Blackwing Dragon in this deck, so although I don't feel like that is the effect we'll be using it for the most, we'll be using it to bring back the banished Blackwings that we are going to use with Allure of Darkness. Next up, we're running 1 Blizzard the Far North. Possibly run more, up to you. It's a level 2 tuner, and when you normal summon it, you target a level 4 or lower Blackwing in your grave, special summon it back in defense position, and then you're off tuning and synchro summoning. Next we got 3 Bora the Spear, which is able to be special summoned if you control another Blackwing monster, and it gains piercing damage. So we are running 3 of these. It's like Crow Hogan's famous card is like Ace Mon. I don't want to say Ace Monster, but it's one of his favorites. Next we got Blackwing Breeze the Zephyr, which is a level 3 tuner, and when this card is added to your deck or added to your hand from your deck, you get to special summon it, and can only be used for Blackwing Synchros. Pretty useful when you search it off of Black Whirlwind. Next is 3 copies of Gale the Whirlwind, which is a level 3 tuner and has the effect of you can special summon it out of your hand if you have another Blackwing on the field, and then it has an additional effect of you can target a face-up monster on the field and half the attack and defense of it once per turn. So it's got a really good effect, and it's easily special summonable out into your field. Plus, it makes a level 7, which is the majority of the Blackwing Synchros. So, highly playable, really good card. Even not in Blackwings. No, never mind. Disregard that comment. Next, we're running 2 Kalut, which it isn't necessary. It's more of an overkill card. You add this, it's basically like Ash Blossom Joyous Spring, where you discard it from your hand, and then you boost up your monster 1400 attack when you discard it. It's a hand trap thing, and sometimes it helps you get over monsters, sometimes it just helps you destroy their life points in one shot. Next we got 3 Chris the Crack of Dawn, which is a lot like Bora, where if you have another Blackwing on the field, you get to special summon it. And his effect is once per turn, this card can't be destroyed by spell or trap. And he has 1900 attack, which is a major bonus. Next we got 2 level 1 tuners here. Oroshi the Squall. If you control another Blackwing, you get to special summon it. And you can only use this effect once per turn, and if this card is sent to the grave as synchro material, you get to change a battle position of one card on the field which is a little helpful. Sometimes you'll get to use this guy, but him being level 1 is a bit odd in this deck, but still usable. There's a whole bunch of useful Blackwing cards, but they're pretty, in certain situations, very good. Next, we got 3 copies of Shura the Blue Flame, which isn't required in this deck, but he's decent. Yeah, his effect is if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you get to special summon another Blackwing out of your deck with 1500 or less attack. It helps. You can go right from this guy and then grab Gale the Whirlwind, and there's a free level 7. And you can hit for 1300 more. And then main phase 2, you synchro summon into one of your bigger monsters. 1 copy of Simoon the Poison Wind. I would run more copies if I had this card. It's very useful to help get out your Black Whirlwind. I've been trying to search for this guy in the packs for so long, and I've only been able to get 1 copy of him. If you control no monsters and have this card in your hand, you can banish a Blackwing from your hand, and then you get to place the Black Whirlwind out of your deck into spell and traps. And then after you do that effect, you can normal summon it without tributing, and it's a level 6, so that helps a lot. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except dark monsters, which all Blackwings are dark monsters. You kind of disregard that. And during the end phase, send the Black Whirlwind placed by this effect to the grave. If you do, take 1000 damage. Why would you want to do that? Interesting. I never drew this card, so in my times of testing, so we'll see how this plays out. Next, we got 1 copy of Sirocco the Dawn. Another not necessary card, but I just wanted to throw it in here. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card out. And once per turn during your main phase, you can target a Blackwing you control, and it gains attack equal to all Blackwing monsters on the field. And targeted monster cannot attack. I believe only the targeted monster you click to boost up is the one that can attack that turn. Next is 2 copies of Zephyros the Elite. I'm running 2 copies because I don't have enough Simoon, so I threw in another Zephyros. But if this card's in your grave, you can return 1 face-up card on the field you control to your hand, and then you take 400 damage and you special summon this guy back out of your grave. Which for 400, it's a great idea to bring him back. And normally you just bounce back your Black Whirlwind, but you can bounce whatever, I guess. 2 copies of Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, banish a dark monster from your hand. If you don't, you have to discard your entire hand. So you really hope, I mean, all these guys are 2/3 of your decks are dark monsters, so I hope you have one at least the majority of the times always in your hand. It works well with this guy where you can bring back that banished card that you just banished. Next is 3 copies Black Whirlwind. You definitely want this card. When a Blackwing monster is normal summoned on the field, add a Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand with less attack than that monster. Every time you normal summon, you basically get another free Blackwing back into your hand that the majority of them can special summon themselves out that turn also, so you really start building up. Next is 2 copies Glowing Crossbow I'm running. You equip it to a Blackwing, it gains 500 attack defense, and if you destroy a monster by battle with it, you discard a random card out of your opponent's hand. If this card's sent to the grave, because if this card's sent to the grave because the equipped monster was used as Synchro, you can add this card from your grave to your hand to bring it back. That's really good. 1 copy Monster Reborn. Target a monster in your grave, special summon it back out. 2 copies Blackbird Close, which helps you summon out your Blackwing Dragon. When a monster your opponent controls activates this effect, send a Blackwing monster to your grave, negate that effect, and destroy it, and then special summon out a Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck. If you already control a Blackwing Synchro monster, you can activate this card from your hand. That's really good. I didn't know it had that second effect. 3 copies Icarus Attack. Tribute a Winged Beast monster and destroy 2 cards on the field. Very, very good with the Winged Beasts, and our entire deck is Winged Beast except for Ash Blossom, I believe. So that's our main deck. I really like this deck. Super fun. And let's get into our extra deck, which is mainly all level 7 Synchro monsters. We're running 2 copies of Assault Blackwing Chidori of Rain Sparkling. It's level 7. It turns into a lot of these guys are also synchroable. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster as material, it is treated as a tuner while face up on the field. It gains 300 attacks for each Blackwing in the grave, and when this card is destroyed and sent to the grave, target a Winged Beast type synchro in your grave and special summon it. Except for one of these guys, which is, it's really good later game if you build up your Blackwings in the grave and then you have another one already in there to bring it back, kind of. Here we got Assault Blackwing Onimaru, the Divine Thunder, which is a level 12. I've never got up to this guy, but if you get there, cool. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing material, it's treated as a tuner. What are you going to tune into as a level 12? Cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can target a Blackwing monster in your grave. This card's level becomes the same as that monster's. Oh, that's why it's a tuner. You can only use this effect of Assault Blackwing Orochimaru Divine Thunder once per duel. Ooh. This card was synchro summoned using this synchro monster's attack. This card gains 3,000 attack during damage dip. If you get up to this card and you synchro with it, wow. That's pretty cool. Here we got 2 copies of Raikiri. This is the guy I usually go into the majority of the times. It's level 7. At least at the start. As I said, Chidori's better later game, I think. This card's treated as a tuner when it's on the field, when it's from Blackwing Synchro. Once per turn, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blackwing monsters you control and destroy them. So if you've got Chidori out, or Raikiri out, and you've got 2 monsters in your monster zones, you can destroy 2 opponents' cards each turn. Very useful at keeping your opponent at bay. Here we got level 5 Synchro Monster. This card is treated as a tuner. If you used for Blackwings, they all got that effect for the Assault Blackwings. You can only use one of these effects once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, target an Assault Blackwing in your grave, special summon it. During your main phase, if this card is in your grave because it was sent there, banish another Assault Blackwing and special summon this card. I never used it. I never got to level 5 synchros that many times. It's mainly level 7. Next is Blackwing Dragon, which once per turn, and it's level 8 synchro. I typically don't think this card is that good, but with that trap, it's pretty dang decent. If you would take this card if you would take damage from a card effect, place black feather counter on this card instead. This card loses 700 attack for each black feather counter on it. And once per turn, you can remove all black feather counters on this and target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and that thing loses 700 for each counter you removed. It stops you taking effect damage and then you can flip it back onto your opponent and cut their attack. Next is another level 5 Grom the Shining Star. Must be synchro summoned. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon a level 4 Blackwing from your hand, but negate its effects. Not the worst, not the greatest. Here's a level 6 synchro we have, Nothing the Starlight. If this card is special summoned, inflict 800 damage to your opponent and target a face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 800 attack and defense. You can only use this effect once per turn during your main phase. Normal summon a Blackwing in addition to your normal summon. You cut their attack, you inflict damage to them, and you get another normal summon. It's pretty decent. Here's a level 8 Silverwind the Ascendant. Requires a Blackwing and 2 other non-tuners. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target 2 face-up monsters that are lower defense than this card's attack, destroy them, and then you can't attack that turn. And he kind of protects your other monsters from being destroyed by battle. It prevents them from being destroyed by battle. Yeah. Next up is Blackarmed Wing, which requires a level 6, or is level 6, a Blackwing tuner, 1 non-tuner. If this card attacks a defense position monster, it gains 500 attack and inflicts piercing. So it makes it up to 2800 and then gives it piercing. Pretty useful. Next is Blackwing Armor Master, which is kind of one of your bigger boss monsters. He is 2500 and he can't be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if you attacked a monster, you can place 1 wedge counter on that monster and remove all wedge counters from your opponent. You can attack into stronger monsters with this card. You won't take damage, you won't be destroyed, and it will put a wedge counter on that monster. And then later you can use your effect, take all the wedge counters off the field, and it puts all their attack and defense to 0, so you can just run over them next turn. Or with a different monster. So we have 2 copies of him. Here's Blackwing Full Armor Master, which is an upgraded version of this guy, which is level 10, requires 1 Blackwing tuner and non-tuner. So each time a monster your opponent controls activates an effect, place a wedge counter on it. And once per turn, you can target a monster that your opponent controls with a wedge counter. Take control of it. Once per turn, during your end phase, destroy all monsters on the field that have a wedge counter. Dang. Card's impressive. Lastly, we got another level 7 Obsidian Hawk Joe, Blackwing Tamer, which is requires 1 Blackwing tuner, 1 or more non-tuner Blackwings. Target a level 5 or higher winged beast monster in your grave. Special summon it. I wonder if that counts as your synchro monsters also. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card, or your opponent targets this card for an attack, you can target 1 other Blackwing monster you control that would be an appropriate target. This card as effect. This card becomes the effect of the target now. You can only use the effect once per turn. It ain't the greatest effect. I do like its effect where it brings back a level 5 or higher though. So I won't go over the side deck. This is all just other cards you could sprinkle in if you want. We got Kunai the Drizzle, Arbalos the Mega Quake, Aureus the Sharp, Kalma the Haze, Elfin the Raven. I really wanted to play him, but I decided not to. Gladius the Midnight Sun, Gus the Backblast, Pinaki the Waxing Moon. Against the Wind here. Cards for Black Feathers. This card is just like Allure of Darkness, but then I realized it's way worse. It's just you banish a Blackwing monster, you draw 2, just like Allure of Darkness. But then you can't special summon for the turn you activate this card. So I decided against it and went with Allure of Darkness instead. Raptor Wing Strike, which is I kind of wanted to play also. Shuffle a Blackwing monster you control back into the main deck, and then you get a free search for any Blackwing. Could be useful. And then the last card was Blackwing Booby Trap. That is my Blackwing deck. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's hop into the duels. See you there. Here we go. This is my first duel in months, and it's against Water Muscle. We'll see how this goes. I'm not the best with this Blackwing deck yet, but it's pretty dang fun. I know I'm going to be missing a bunch of like optimal plays, but I'm going to enjoy this. And we have a terrible hand here. Let's see. He's got a 60 card deck, so that's a bit odd. I'm thinking right now I lure this Orochi out of my hand and hope we draw something better. It's not a bad, it's a good draw there. I'm still gonna Allure of Darkness. Draw 2, and then that didn't help at all. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna set my Icarus attack. I think I need to summon out this Gale. Oh, I already messed up. I should have put out Black Whirlwind first. Yep, I messed up already. I guess I have to equip him with this now to boost him up. Gains 500 attack defense, and then it gains an ability of discarding a random card when I destroy an opponent. He has a response, apparently. He does not. Let's attack in. We can't activate our Gale because his monster's not face up. And it's a 2000 defense monster. Unfortunate. We can get over it next turn. Now that we can cut him down to size with our ability. And we could just use the glowing crossbow. Is this a once per turn effect? We could double equip him. Oh my goodness. He's gonna flip his face down. Change that targets. Target one face up. He's gonna put me in defense position. I'm fine with that. At the very least, I can Icarus attack. Oh my goodness. Dimension Fortress weapon. Cards cannot be sent from the deck to the grave. I think I have to Icarus attack. Yep. It's the only way I get value out of this. Either that or I lose my monsters here. It at least takes out his monsters with it. Now we need to draw a monster here that I can get some value off Black Whirlwind. Perfect. Throw out Black Whirlwind. Get Zephyros out. Activate Black Whirlwind. What do we want here? Probably Gale? Or Breeze. I'm gonna go grab Breeze. Let's activate Breeze's effect of when she added to the hand, she gets to be special summoned. And time to Synchro into Raikiri? Maybe Armor. I think Armor Master might be the best against this guy. I don't think he has the world's greatest deck. So the fact that Armor Master can't be destroyed by battle. Normally I would go into Raikiri, I think. Let's battle in here. Deal 2,500. And send it over to his turn. Should I put Glowing Crossbow on him? Start ripping cards out of his hand? I think that's the move next turn. I can also bring back Zephyros next turn. He summons Ancient Gear Wyvern in attack mode. Lets him search. No. We're gonna stop that. We're gonna stop his search. Now you're stuck out in attack mode. I hope this guy doesn't surrender. He doesn't stand a chance, I don't feel like. We draw into a Zephyros. Let's activate Zephyros. He's going to bounce back the whirlwind. And we're just going to put it right back down. We take 400 damage for special summoning him like that. Black Whirlwind hits the field again. I'm going to glowing crossbow onto our armor master. And then I'm just going to normal summon out our other Zephyros. Black Whirlwind's going to activate. I'm going to search for Kalut. Kalut's just a win more card, I believe. Attacking with Armor Master. We'll just use Kalut. Boost up 1400 more attack points. Glowing Crossbow is going to activate to rip a card out of his hand. See ya. What was that? V Tiger Jet. And we swing in for game. Having fun with these Blackwings so far. We'll send it on over for game number 2 coming up. It's time for game number 2 here. We got Oh Man Got Dame, I believe is how his name is. He has a Kyba deck. See how he competes against our Blackwings. We did pretty good in game number 1. Although I did misplay a few times, I know for sure. I could have done better. Here we go. We got a decent hand here. With Chris and Bora. And even Blizzard. We can Icarus attack one of those two guys off and then bring them back. It'll be great. He starts out with Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Which is a really good starting card for him. That's an even better starting card for us. Black Whirlwind coming down. Let's just normal summon Chris. Activate Black Whirlwind. Which I'm going to search out. I think Breeze. It was either that or Gale. I'm gonna activate Breeze. Get her out on the field. I'm gonna put down Bora. Bang. I'm gonna set Icarus attack and we're gonna Synchro off into Raikiri, I think. I'm gonna activate Raikiri's effect. I don't know how I'm gonna get around this Maiden. We're just gonna have to pop her, which is gonna activate her effect. Bringing out Blue Eyes. But we can Icarus attack next turn to clear whatever he puts down. I knew this was going to happen, but Maiden's gone. And then I think we just end our turn here. Opponent drew a card. No, we're going to wait to Icarus attack. I want him to put out another card. Like that. Now, before he activates his effect... Never mind. No! Yo, what's Ash Blossom? Not let him draw that card. Gonna wait to the battle phase. And now Icarus attack! Taking Bora away off the field. We're going to wipe the field. Next turn we'll normal summon Blizzard out. We'll get a card off of Black Whirlwind, and we'll get another monster back onto the field out of our grave. We might have lethal, who knows? Ooh. This card's normal summon target at level 4. We don't have any banished ones, unfortunate. Let's just go with the Blizzard play. Let's see, Blizzard's the far north. I'm gonna go grab Chris. Activate Black Whirlwind. We can search for Oroshi. Oroshi has 400 attack. Do we want to go that far? Do we have any level 6 targets? Armed Wing and Nothung. I feel like Armed Wing is the play here. If not, we could summon Orochi and go up to level 7. But I don't feel like we need that right now. Huh. I'm really not quite that familiar with this card. I'm not quite sure how I can use him to be better if I don't have a banished monster. Oh, come on. I mean, I think I was going to win there anyway, but we kind of swept with Blackwings, even though those weren't the greatest decks. I'm going to open up one more pack. I want to find that ain't what I need. I really need more copies of Simoon, but I hope you guys enjoyed our Blackwing beatdown we kind of did there, and let me know how I can improve this deck. I don't feel like it's optimized nearly to where I think it should be, but it's very fun to play, and you feel free to make it better. Tell me what I did wrong and how I can play this better. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what kind of decks you want to see in the future, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.